Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fullerton College for today's matchup featuring the Orange County Riptide and the Academy Barons. On the mound today for Orange County, it's Colin Townsend. 6 feet tall, 175 pounds. He is a freshman out of San Juan Capistrano, California. He attended J. Serra High School. Ground ball towards the right side. Georgia Southern Mason McWhorter is there. He flips on over to Colin Townsend, covering for a first pitch out. So the Academy Barons and the Riptide closing out the 2018 CCL regular season. The Riptide have already clinched a spot in the playoffs. A righty-on-lefty matchup as Buck Anderson digs in on the outer half and misses 1-0. Colin Townsend out of St. Louis University. His third pitch of the ballgame is on the inner half, called a strike. 1-1 the count. Buck Anderson at the plate. Righty on lefty matchup. The right-hander delivers. Pitch runs inside. 1-0. A big thank you to all of you joining us for today's broadcast via YouTube Live. Jonathan Ortiz behind the mic, because that is a chopper right back to Townsend. Throw over to Mason McWhorter. 2 quick outs. Danny Hams digs in.
Danny Harris.
In 2018, for St. Louis University, Colin Townsend appeared in 14 games as a reliever. He struck out 13 batters in 15 innings pitched. No balls and 1 strike to count. At J. Serra, he posted a 2.45 ERA with 21 strikeouts and 21 appearances on the mound. And aside from that, he had a great stick at the plate. Slider in the dirt. A ball and a strike to count. Take a look at his numbers. He hit .469 with a .656 slugging percentage and a .500 on-base percentage. Here's a 1-1 on the outer half, called a strike. 1-2. Townsend gets the sign. The 1-2 pitch, slider swung on and missed for strike 3. A strikeout to close out the top half of the first inning. And to the bottom of the first we go. We are scoreless here from Fullerton College. To the bottom half of the first inning we go, and that is Anthony Nettles on the mound for the Barons. 5'10", 175 pounds. He is a junior at Clark University out of Moreau, Georgia. Bradley Jekic to lead things off for the Riptide. Jekic out of the University of Pacific. He is the designated hitter today. Takes an inner fastball towards the left side. Will be trouble for the left fielder who'll play it on hop. Bradley Jekic takes a turn. He holds that first, so a leadoff single for the Riptide.
Stepping up to the plate from Georgia Southern, number 7, Steve Curry.
Out of Georgia Southern University, Steve Curry digs in. We'll take a look at the Orange County Riptide starting lineup in just a moment. Fastball above the chest. So Steve Curry at the plate. He's followed by Mike Caprice. Hitting cleanup, Mason McWhorter. Hitting fifth, Austin Soika. Batting sixth, Aaron Simpson. Batting seventh, Matthew Cooper. Batting eighth, Jake Ortega. Batting ninth, Josh Nikoloff. No score, just getting started here in the bottom half of the first inning. Another warm ball game here at Fullerton College. We've got the sun out for sure. We've got some sweating falling down our faces. The 1-0 drops below the knees. It's 92 degrees out here, and my goodness, you can definitely feel it. Nettles looks down the barrel to get a sign. 2 balls and no strikes to count here. The right-hander delivers, runs inside for a ball, 3-0. Bradley Jekic leads off at first. He reached on a single. Nettles in desperate need of a strike and nowhere to be found. Fastball that sails up high, and now things are really looking up for the Riptide. We've got the big guy, Mike Caprice, at the plate.
Number 23, Mike Caprice.
Righty on lefty matchup should favor the hitter. Mike Caprice out of Point Loma University. Foul towards the left side. Mason McWhorter out of Georgia Southern awaits on deck. Bradley Jekic opened up the inning with a single. Steve Curry walked. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball that travels outside and high. The Riptide in second place in regard to the CCL standings. A league record of 19-12. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Nettles falls behind once again, 2 balls and 1 strike. The Academy Barons, on the other hand, well, they are 12-24 and 16 games back of the Santa Barbara Foresters. Nonetheless, bless their heart, there's always next year, correct? 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Breaking ball on a plotter. The outer half is his friend, called strike 2. Mason McWhorter awaits on deck. Austin Soika in the hole. A righty on lefty matchup. Throw back over to second, not in time. Oh, and it's really exciting now because you see the Foresters, Riptide, and the Packers have already secured their spot in the playoffs. Nonetheless, the Conejo Oaks and the San Luis Obispo Blues are still fighting it out. The Oaks with a 16-13 record. The Blues, on the other hand, 15-13. Well, good news for the Barons. At least they are not in. At least they are not in last place. That is actually the Southern California Catchers. They have a 9-23 record. That has popped up towards the left side. The catcher behind the plate takes a look, runs out of room. Jekic off a second. Curry off a first. No score, bottom half of the first inning. The last game of the 2018 regular season. It's been a pleasure, and let's finish this one off with a bang. Popped up towards the left side. The third baseman has room in foul territory, making the first out of the inning.
Stepping up to the plate from Georgia Southern, number 4, Mason McWhorter.
And Mason McWhorter digs in, the man of the hour. He had a walk-off home run in yesterday's ball game against the Packers. He's definitely got some pop in the bat, and let's see what he has in store for us here. Has runners on first and second, one man out. The left-hander hits a chopper towards the right side and into right field for a base hit. Jekic takes a turn. He'll score easily 1-0 in favor of your Orange County Riptide.
Now batting from Oklahoma Wesleyan, number 30, Austin Soika.
Out of Oklahoma Wesleyan University, Austin Soika, the bare-handed beast, as I like to call him, digs in, throw back over to first. Not in time. Alrighty matchup. Here comes the pitch. Fastball on the outer half, called strike one. Runners on the corners, one man down, 1-0 in favor of Orange County. Nettles looks down the barrel to get a sign. The catcher sets outside. That's a chopper towards the left side and foul. 15 pitches on the inning thus far for Anthony Nettles. 2 hits, 1 run in the ballgame for the Riptide. No hits, no runs, no errors in the ballgame for the Barons. Throw back over to first, not in time. The Academy Barons play at the MOB Youth Academy, so they have some very nice accommodations. It's definitely a beautiful field out in Compton, California, as that is fouled towards the right side. And Austin Soika once again down in the count with 2 strikes. Nonetheless, we see that he excels in these kind of situations. Aaron Simpson out of Ball State University awaits on deck, but let's completely disregard that as Mason McWhorter has just been picked off at first base. Always a frustrating and embarrassing moment for a base runner. Nonetheless, it's a part of the game of baseball. It's a game of inches. Therefore, you want to play it tightly. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball towards the left side. Backhanded nicely by the shortstop. Deep in the hole. Throws across the diamond. Makes the play. Nonetheless, the Riptide lead 1-0 as we head towards the top half of the second inning. Jonathan Ortiz behind the mic via YouTube Live for today's Orange County Riptide broadcast. George Guimero digs in to open up the top half of the second inning, and that is a quick ground ball towards shortstop. Austin Soika is there. One pitch, one away. Jacob Shanks digs in.
Jacob Shanks.
Shanks out of Corona, California, 6 feet tall, 188 pounds. That is ripped towards left field, but luckily for Colin Townsend, it hooks foul. Jacob Shanks to attend UC Riverside this upcoming fall. Behind the plate today for the Barons, here's the 0-1 pitch slider that breaks towards the inner half and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Only 11 pitches in the ballgame thus far for Colin Townsend on the mound. The 1-1. Another slider, check swing. He did go, says the first place umpire. Christian Lucio awaits on deck. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Slider nobler towards the left side. Austin Soika, barehanded play, throws across his body, not in time. My goodness, on the verge of a gem. Nonetheless, Jacob Shanks pulls out the wheels, gets there safely.
Number 5, Christian Lucio.
Nice job there by Austin Soika to barehand the ball. A difficult play all around. 1 ball and no strikes. A ball and no strikes to count here to Christian Lucio. Righty on lefty matchup. Townsend delivers. Swung on and missed. 1-1. Lucio out of Eastern Kentucky University, where he will be a freshman next fall. The right-hander gets a sign, delivers towards the right side and foul. A ball and 2 strikes to count. 1 man out. Throw back over to first. Townsend looks down the barrel to get a sign as that one is fouled off towards the left side. Only 1 strikeout in the ballgame thus far for Colin. Looking for number 2. Has Lucio down to the count at 1-2, and once again that is fouled towards the left side. Andrew Wilson awaits on deck, and Andrew Wilson looks like Jason Worth. Wait till he gets to the plate. He's got some nice blonde hair reaching his neck. Look at that guy. He's definitely got some swagger out there. A ball and 2 strikes. A right-hander instead throws over to first base, not in time. Here's the 1-2. That is off the end of the bat towards left center field. And the catch is made for the second out of the inning.
Number 11, Andrew Wilson.
Micah Priest doing a nice job of tracking that one down. And here comes Andrew Wilson. Look at this guy. He's got some really nice hair. I'm actually quite fond of it. Townsend delivers, breaking ball that stays up high for a ball 1-0. Pitch misses. The count is even at 1-1. Wilson is 6 feet tall, 180 pounds. Out of Encinitas, California. Swung on and missed, 2-1. Jacob Shanks aboard at first base. He reached on an infield single. A 1-0 ball game here in the top half of the second inning in favor of the Orange County Riptide. Townsend delivers it 2-1. Throw back over to first. Not in time. So Jake Ortega behind the plate, trying to develop a cat and mouse game. Three balls and one strike. Here comes the pitch on a platter at the knees. Caught, strike 2. Three balls and 2 strikes. The count here to Wilson. Townsend delivers. There goes the runner. Swung on and missed for strike 3. The second strikeout of the ball game draws a close to the top half of the second inning for Colin Townsend. To the bottom of the second we go. 1-0 in favor of your Orange County Riptide.
1-0 in favor of Orange County Riptide.
Aaron Simpson out of Ball State University to open things up here in the bottom half of the second inning. Nettles delivers, misses in the dirt, 1-0. It took 18 pitches for Nettles to get out of the bottom half of the first inning. Let's see what unravels here in the bottom half of the second. Fouled back into the catcher's glove. Pitch is in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 2-1. Ground ball towards the left side. The shortstop is there. Throw over to first is high. And there was a collision at first base between the first baseman and Aaron Simpson. Nothing greater than that, though.
Next up, from Clemson University, number 21, Matthew Cooper.
Aaron Simpson may have been a little bit upset there. Nonetheless, it was a throw that drew the first baseman off the bag. And while our iPad gets absolutely demolished, we'll take a short break. Well, all is good once again. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. The right-hander delivers. Strike 2. That's Matthew Cooper at the plate. He's out of Clemson University. Fastball fouled back. Jake Ortega waits on deck. Here's the 2-2. Chopper towards the left side. The shortstop from the outskirts of the grass has no chances. Matthew Cooper showing that he can definitely rip it down the line.
Stepping up to the plate from Cal State University Bakersfield, number 44, Jake Ortega.
So Jake Ortega out of Cal State Bakersfield will have a runner on second base as the throw back over from Nettles was nowhere to be found. It was a pickoff attempt to Matthew Cooper. Cooper now leads off a second. An insurance run for the Riptide. Fastball on the outer half called a strike. 0-1 the count. Jake Ortega at the plate. Josh Nikoloff waits on deck. The right-hander delivers way outside. That is 30 pitches in the ball game now for Anthony Nettles. Bradley Jekic in the hole. Here's the 1-1. Fouled away. A ball and 2 strikes to count. Bottom half of the second inning. 1 man now, runner aboard at second here for the Riptide. Matthew Cooper reached on an infield single, proceeded to go towards second base after a pickoff attempt was overthrown by the pitcher, Anthony Nettles, on the mound. He's at 31 pitches, pitch number 32 of the ball game. Evens up the count at 2-2. Nettles looks down the barrel to get a sign. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Breaking ball, and well, there is nothing we could do about it. Jake Ortega out in front, swung and missed. And well, let's see what Josh Nikoloff has in store for us as he has a runner on second base with 2 men out. The right-hander gets a sign, takes a peek towards second. Matthew Cooper with a good-sized lead. No one holding him off. A nice block there behind the plate. Bradley Jekic, the leadoff hitter for Orange County, awaits on deck. Here comes the pitch. Fastball way outside. 2 balls and no strikes, and there's little to no doubt in my mind that Matthew Cooper is definitely getting into the head of Nettles. And see if the middle infield has something in store, and sure enough they do. There's a pickoff attempt back towards second base. Here's the 2-0 pitch. On the outer half, called strike 1. 2-1 the count. Nettles gets the sign. Delivers the 2-1 pitch that stays up high. 3 balls and no strikes. The right-hander in desperate need of a strike here. Nonetheless, he does have a base open, so he doesn't necessarily have to lay one in there. Here's the pitch. Slider that drops below the knees for ball 4. So runners on first and second with 2 men out for Bradley Jekic out of the University of Pacific.
Number 14, Bradley Jekic.
A righty on lefty should favor Jekic. In there for a strike, 0-1. Steve Curry awaits on deck. No balls and a strike to count. Two and 0. Or check that. We are even at 1-1. Nettles takes a peek towards second. Settles back in. On the outer half, caught strike 2. Three hits, 1 run in the ball game for the Riptide. 1 hit, no runs in the ball game for the Barons. The 1-2 is a broken bat towards the right side. The second baseman flips on over to his pitcher covering, and that puts an end to the inning. The Riptide failed to catch in a run in scoring position, and we head toward the top half of the third. A 1-0 in favor of Orange County. Adam Sendejas digs in there for a strike on 1. Townsend on the mound at 26 pitches for the Riptide, hoping to give them a good chunk of innings. Ground ball towards the left side. That one has eyes and finds its way into left field for a leadoff single.
Number 31.
At number 31, Cameron Dean, the left fielder, digs in. Townsend delivers. Off-speed pitch that runs inside for a strike on 1. Cameron Dean out of Rockhurst University. Adam Sendejas leads off at first. He reached on a single. Colin Townsend yet to find himself in any trouble. On the outer half, 1-2. Here comes the pitch, slider. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Third strikeout of the ballgame for Colin Townsend.
Top of the order, number 4, Desmond Gates.
Now Desmond Gates digs in. He grounded out towards second base his first time up. He's 0 for 1.
No, Gates.
Sendejas opened up the inning with a single. He's aboard at first, counts and delivers. Misses the outer half in the black, 1-0. One away in the inning, 1-0 in favor of the Riptide. Chopper fouled off the foot of Gates. Jake Ortega out of Bakersfield behind the plate today for the Riptide. Towards the left side and foul. A ball and 2 strikes to count. Colin Townsend takes a peek towards first base. Settles in. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back Ks. 2 men out. Here comes Buck Anderson. He hit a comebacker towards Colin Townsend his first time up. He's 0 for 1. It's Danny Harris who waits on deck. Popped up towards the left side. Will it stay in fair territory? It will, and it gets even worse because it gets away from the third baseman who was chasing it down. Nonetheless, the runner who was aboard at first base, and Adam Sendejas, advances only towards second and not any further. So here's a 2-out single off the bat of Buck Anderson.
Number 25, Danny Harris.
And steps Danny Harris. Harris out of Eastern Kentucky University. A nice looking block behind the plate by Jake Ortega. He's 6 feet tall, 165 pounds. Out of Lithonia, Georgia. has 2 men out in the inning. Nonetheless, a runner aboard at second base, which represents the tying run. Breaking ball looked good from here, but that's why I'm solely a broadcaster and not an umpire. Ball and 1 strike to count. Townsend gets the sign, delivers a 1-1, and the bottom falls out of that one as it swung on and missed. A ball and 2 strikes. Here comes a pitch from Colin. Nubler towards the right side. Hitter at the plate just able to stay alive. We'll do it again. Now 1-2. Towards the left side. The third baseman is there. Long throw across the diamond. And not even close. My goodness. So the bases are loaded. 2 men down in the inning.
Number 15, Joe Argumedo.
Danny Harris booking it down the line. There was no chance for the Orange County Riptide third baseman Josh Nikolov to get him. And George Argumedo with a prime opportunity to not only tie up the ballgame for his team, but to give his team the lead. No balls and 1 strike to count. Here's the 0-1. Runs inside and misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Riptide and the Academy Barons facing off for the final time this season. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That is hit up the middle. Austin Soika has it get past him. It's into center field, and the Barons take a 2-1 lead. RBI single off the bat of Joe Argumedo. Austin Soika going towards his left, laid out nonetheless without the ability to reach it properly.
Number 12, Jacob Shanks.
Jacob Shanks digs in, and he has the opportunity to add on some more runs to cushion this lead on behalf of the Barons. 1 ball and no strike to count. Colin Townsend looking to get out of the inning without surrendering more than 2 runs. He's at 45 pitches in the ballgame. Here's the 1-0. That's hit towards center field. The center fielder is there, and the inning is over. Nonetheless, 2 runs come to cross the plate for the Academy Barons. To the bottom half of the 3rd inning we go. 2-1 in favor of the Academy.
2 runs, 4 hits, no errors at the end of 2.5.
We head towards the bottom half of the third inning, and out of Georgia Southern University, Steve Curry. And a big thank you to everyone from Georgia for really following along this season. We know that the Eagles definitely have a loyal fan base, Steve Curry being one of the fan favorites, but not over there only, but over here as well. My goodness. The females in particular are quite fond of them, and I won't name any, for the sake of keeping it professional, but nonetheless. I mean, he's a good-looking guy, and you got to give credit where credit is due, right? Mike Caprice awaits on deck. He'll be followed by Mason McWhorter. The 1-0 drives the count to 1-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch all the way towards the backstop. Fortunately enough for us, the camera angle's not necessarily affected. It's 2-2. 2-1 ball game in favor of the Academy Barons. That was hit out towards center field. A center fielder backtracking in front of the 405 sign makes the play for the first out of the inning. And Micah Priest digs in.
Batting from Point Loma, number 23.
Priest out of Point Loma University. I believe he is 6'7". Let me go ahead and confirm for you. And he rips that one deep towards right field. Going back to right field, at the track, in front of the IB, making the play for a loud out number 2.
Walking up to the plate from Georgia Southern, number 4, Mason McWhorter.
And Mike Caprice, well, he is actually 6'4". 6'4", 205. And here comes Georgia Southern University, Mason McWhorter. I remember at the MLB Youth Academy, the game between the Academy Barons and the Riptide, McWhorter hit 2 home runs in the first inning, one of those being a grand slam. And I had someone from Georgia go ahead and tell me that his name is not Mason McWhorter, it's actually Mason McHomer. So let's see if McHomer can deliver a McBang here in the bottom half of the third inning. And that's a big swing there. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the 2-1 pitch, ripped towards the right side and foul. Austin Soiko awaits on deck. Two men out in the inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Nettles delivers. Fastball on the outer half. Did he go? No, he did not, according to the third base umpire. Count is 4 on 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed for strike 3. To the top half of the 4th inning we go. The Riptide are down by 1. 2-1 in favor of the Barons. Christian Lucio digs in. We are in the top half of the fourth inning. The Academy Barons enjoying a 2-1 lead. Colin Townsend gets Lucio to pop up towards the left side. The shortstop, Austin Soiko, with a long way to go. Cannot catch up to it, but Lucio has an aggressive mindset on his way towards second, and he is safe according to the second base umpire. The throw definitely beat him. Nonetheless, here we go, huh? No way to challenge it. He looked out from here, but the Barons have a runner on second base. Well, what am I saying? The second base umpire definitely had a better view than I did. Townsend sits a peak towards second, settles back in, delivers a breaking ball on the outer half. And the kid with good hair at the plate, Andrew Wilson. Adam Sendejas waits on deck. Cameron Dean in the hole. Townsend delivers slider below the knee, swung on and missed one too. Once again, we appreciate all of you for making us a part of your Friday afternoon. That one was way inside it. No, that's a gem. My goodness. Jake Ortega, give me some. Oh, that throw was behind Andrew Wilson. Ortega was perfectly set up to throw down the runner, and he took advantage of a perfectly set up opportunity. Here's the 1-2. And to top it off, Colin Townsend delivers a fastball down the heart of the plate for strike three. Throw it around the horn, Jake Ortega. Strikeout number 4 of the ball game for the kid out of St. Louis University. Fastball at the knees, zone 1. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball towards the left side into left field for a 2-out single. The Riptide scored once, and that was in the bottom half of the first inning. In the top half of the third, the Academy Barons brought 2 runs across the plate to give themselves the 2-1 lead they are enjoying now. Changeup swung on and missed 1-1. Anthony Needles on the mound for the Barons this afternoon. Colin Townsend on the mound this afternoon for the Riptide. Fastball in the dirt. Jake Ortega blocks it. He throws down to second base, and he airmails it into center field. So Ortega doing a nice job at least of keeping it in front of him. Nonetheless, he could have delivered a better throw. One ball and 1 strike to count. Here comes the pitch on the inner half, called strike 2. Townsend looking for strikeout number 5 of the ball game. We're in the top half of the fourth inning, 2-1 in favor of the Barons. Here comes the pitch. Slider swung on and missed for strike 3. 5 strikeouts on the afternoon for Colin Townsend as we head towards the bottom half of the fourth. It's 2-1 in favor of the Barons. Jonathan Ortiz via YouTube Live for today's Riptide broadcast. So Austin Soika digs in and he does his pre-at-bat routine, grabbing the dirt, running it through his hands, tips his helmet, and he's ready to go. Nettles delivers a fastball on the outer half, called a strike, 0-1 the count. Aaron Simpson awaits on deck. Austin Soika exchanging some words with the home plate umpire. Wouldn't be able to tell you what they are talking about. As the 0-1 runs away outside, a ball and no strikes, or not a ball and no strikes, but the count is even at 1-1 rather. Nettles gets the sign, delivers a 1-1 pitch. That is right up the middle. And here we go. A leadoff single off the bat of Austin Soika. Off the end of the bat,
now batting from
towards right center field.
Number 22, Aaron Simpson.
Aaron Simpson digs in. He's out of Ball State University. The Riptide have the tying run aboard at first base as the pitch trails way outside. 1-0 the count. 5:31 p.m. on a Friday afternoon here live from Fullerton College. Pitch runs inside for a ball, 1-0. Right-hander looks down the barrel to get a sign. Delivers a 2-0 pitch. That is ripped towards the left side, past the diving third baseman, and it's a fair ball. Austin Soika turns on the turbo. He's rounding third. He's on his way home standing. And here is an RBI triple off the bat of the kid from Ball State University, Aaron Simpson.
Next up from Clemson University, number 21, Matthew Cooper.
Now out of Clemson University, Matthew Cooper looking to give the Riptide a 3-2 ball game and an ideal situation for him to go ahead and fulfill that desire. He has a runner aboard at third base. No men out. Pitch is on the outer half, 1-0. The go-ahead run 90 feet away. We're still in the bottom half of the fourth inning, still fairly early in the ball game. Slider that misses outside. The Riptide came into the ballgame with a 19-12 league record, looking to improve to 20-12. Nettles delivers off the end of the bat towards the right side, out of play. And on the other side, the Academy Barons, 12-24. The Riptide riding a 3-game winning streak. The Barons a 2-game losing streak. Here's a 2-1 slider to even up the count at 2-2. Matthew Cooper out in front. The 2-2 pitch is a high fastball that misses. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Still no man out in the inning. Austin Soika opened up with the single. He then proceeded to score after an RBI triple from the bat of Aaron Simpson, and that one just misses the outer black for ball 4. Everyone in the Barons dugout wanted that one.
Next up,
it was a close pitch, but definitely a ball.
44, Jake Ortega.
And here's Jake Ortega, who was having himself a fun time behind the plate today. We've seen him involved in a handful of plays. We'll take a look at his numbers. Ortega comes into the ballgame hitting .375. Has 2 RBIs on the season. Has yet to clear the fence. On the inner half, called a ball, 1-0. Ortega out of Cal State Fullerton. We've seen him at shortstop recently. Nonetheless, he is behind the plate today. Throw back over towards first base. And because of such happenings, we'll take a look at the stolen base count for Matthew Cooper. Pitch runs high and outside. Cooper has one stolen base on the season. Simpson leads off of third. Cooper off of first. Bottom of the fourth, 2-2. Here comes the pitch. Popped up. The catcher has it hit off his glove. But the infield fly rule was not in effect.
Now batting from Columbia University.
Okay.
Number 8.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify because I saw the umpire make a motion, and I was quite confused. But it wasn't an ideal situation to call an infield fly rule, so, well, everything works out perfectly for the Riptide. Breaking ball runs inside. 1-0 the count. Jacob Shanks behind the plate today for the Barons. Looking to get his pitcher out of trouble.
What, are you serious?
And Nettles on the mound looking to back up his catcher. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Fastball on the outer half. Shanks tries to frame. Comes up empty.
Okay, so the churro, no, it's fine. The churro, it's like dough, and you deep fry it, and you cover it in cinnamon and sugar. It's like a stick, it's like this long, and it's really good.
Bradley Jekic awaits on deck. 2 balls and no strikes. Fouled into the catcher's glove. 2-1. The Riptide tying up the ball game earlier in the inning. RBI triple off the bat of Aaron Simpson. Austin Soika came around to score. Here comes the pitch. Misses. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Josh Nikoloff at the plate. He's in the passenger seat. 3 balls and 1 strike. The bases are loaded. Nowhere to put him. You can expect an 0-1 down the heart of the plate. And there's an off-speed pitch. Wow, nice job there by Nettles to control the velocity and the location. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Still no man out in the inning. Nettles on the mound would love to strike out Nikoloff or induce a ground ball. Here's a 3-2. That is hit out towards left center field. The center fielder giving chase at the track, and he tracks it down very nicely, but he takes a fall as he leans back. And now we're just really trying to clarify what's going on. We're trying to see whether the out will be recorded. So that was off the bat of Josh Nikoloff.
Next up from University of Pacific, number 14, Bradley Jekic.
Okay, so the out was recorded. Jake Ortega's on second base, Matthew Cooper at third. Nonetheless, the Riptide did take a 3-2 lead. And here's Bradley Jekic. at the plate. Pitch runs inside for a ball, 1-0. Steve Curry out of Georgia Southern University awaits on deck. Jekic came into the ballgame hitting .288. Has 13 RBIs, looking to boost the count. Fouls this one back towards the netting. 1 ball and 1 strike is what the count sits at. Righty on lefty matchup. Nettles gets the sign. Shanks sets outside. The pitch towards the right side past the diving first baseman. It hugs the line and stays fair. 2 runs come in to score for the Riptide. A 2 RBI single for Bradley Jekic, and Orange County is out in front 5-2.
Now batting from Georgia Southern, number 7, Steve Curry.
And there for a strike on 1.
So it should read 257630. We're good. We're good.
Nettles steps off the rubber, regains his stance. Chopper towards the left side. The shortstop is there. He throws on over to first. 2 away.
Next up from Point Loma University, number 23, Micah Priest.
And Micah Priest digs in. Popped up towards the left side. The third baseman in foul territory in front of the Barons dugout makes the play, and that puts an end to the bleeding for Anthony Nettles on the mound. Nonetheless, 4 runs come across the plate for the Riptide, and they lead 5-2 as we head towards the top half of the 5th. Desmond Gates takes the ball on the outer half. Swung on and missed. Count is even at 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2. And for those of you watching, YouTube provides a live chat little section there. So, hey, let's chat it up a little bit. You guys did it for the first time a few games ago, so go ahead and tell me where you're watching from. You know, let's have a conversation here. It's our last game of the season. Let's get to know each other a little bit better. And that one hits off the mound, and my goodness. I thought the second baseman had an opportunity to snag it as it was on his way towards right field. That would have been an absolute gem off the glove of Steve Curry. Nonetheless, it's out of his reach, so Desmond Gates reaches on a leadoff single here to open things up in the top half of the fifth inning. Pitch is called a strike, 0-1. Yet another beautiful day here as the pitch is thrown over to first. Yeah, as I was saying, you get another beautiful day here in Fullerton College for a baseball game. Cloudless skies, warm temperatures, just yells out baseball. Summer's game, America's pastime, and I love it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Count is even at 1-1. Chopper towards the right side. Colin Townsend comes off the mound, throws over to first for 1. On over to first, not in time. Townsend looking for the 1-6-3. Only able to record the 1-6 put out.
Number 25, Danny Harris.
One man down. Daniel Harris takes a slider in the dirt. Ortega doing a nice job of keeping that one in front of him, preventing Gates from advancing towards second. Pitch runs inside. Too far for comfort. 2 balls and no strikes. Throw back over to first, not in time. Colin Townsend out of St. Louis University. Also out of San Juan Capistrano, California. He attended J. Serra High School. He's 6 feet tall, 175 pounds. So J. Serra High School was ranked the 25th team in the country by MaxPreps.com. The 2-1 pitch results in a slider sniping the outer half. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. So after falling behind in the ballgame 2-1, Colin Townsend provided with a 5-2 lead from his offense. And here's a ground ball towards the left side. The third baseman is there. Barehanded play, throw over to first, not in time. That's the second infield hit of the ballgame for Danny Harris. That is Mike Caprice over at third base. Austin Soika's at short. We typically see Austin Soika at third base. We see Jake Ortega, who's behind the plate at shortstop himself. Behind the plate, we've seen a handful of people. We've seen Matthew Cooper, Chase Sebi, one of them. Jake Ortega, who's there now. Off the end of the bat towards the right side, slicing, coming in the right fielder, and he tries to backhand it. It hits off his glove. 1 run will not come in to score for the Barons as the runner is held up at third base. Thought Desmond Gates would be given the green light. So we have Gates at third. We've got Danny Harris aboard at second base. And we have Joe Argumedo at first. Off for the catcher, Jacob Shanks. Townsend delivers a slider outside and a beautiful stop there by Jake Ortega. Kudos to him. So we'll take a look at the numbers. Of Jacob Shanks in just 1 second. Pitch is in there for a strike. All right, so in regards to Jacob Shanks, he comes into the ballgame hitting only 152, so has yet to find his stride at the plate, and quite frankly, he has run out of time as this is the last game of the season, but he finds a hole and rips this one towards left field for a base hit. 2 runs come in to score for the Barons. The deficit is trimmed to 1. And here's a mound visit for Colin Townsend. While things unravel, we'll take a short break. So Colin Townsend remains in the ballgame, just visit on the mound to go ahead and calm down the emotions of the young right-hander. The pitch drops below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Only 1 out in the inning, nonetheless. There are runners on first and second base for the Barons. Christian Lucio at the plate. Lucio came into the ballgame with a .279 batting average. Has 10 RBIs, looking for number 11, which is aboard at second base. 5-4 ballgame in favor of the Riptide. It was 1-0 in favor of Orange County, then 2-1 in favor of the Barons. Pitches misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. So after the 2-1 lead enjoyed by the Riptide, it developed into a 5-2 lead in favor of Orange County. But now we are sitting at 5-4. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's hit out towards center field. The center fielder giving chase, looking back, and that will hit off the base of the wall. 1 run comes in to score for the Barons. The throw is cut off. The runner's held at third base. A nice throw there by the shortstop, Austin Soika. Now the runner who was on his way towards third is held in a rundown. The tag is applied, so miscommunication on the base paths allows the Riptide to take advantage of base running mistakes, withdrawing the Barons from eventually and possibly taking the lead.
What just happened? For the hit. Wait, so just one hit? And an error, I believe, but no.
Number 11, Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, 15 came in for that.
2 balls and 1 strike to count. On the outer half and misses. Here's the 1-0. Count is even. 2 balls and no strikes. Swung on and missed.
And then that's when we was it get picked off? That's just the easiest thing to do. So I think it went 8, 6, 4, 2.
2 balls and 1 strike. Right-handed delivers.
8, 6, 4,
Misses. 3-1.
I'm good.
A 5-5 ball game, all tied up here in the top half of the 5th inning. Here's the 3-1 towards the left side and foul. 3-2. And that's the game of baseball for you, because when you compare these teams on paper and according to the stats that have unraveled throughout the season, the Riptide have a far better record than the Barons. Nonetheless, the Academy Barons are putting up a fight. And at one point during the ball game, they had the lead. Here's the 3-2. Chopper towards the left side. The third baseman, Mike Caprice, throws over to first, and the inning is over. To the bottom of the 5th inning we go. All tied up at 5 here from Fullerton College. And out of Georgia Southern University, Mason McWhorter digs in. All tied up at 5 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Pitch is swung on and missed. McWhorter struck out his last time up on an off-speed pitch. Austin Stoico waits on deck. He'll be followed by Aaron Simpson. Pitch is swung on and missed once again. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2. Jacob Shanks setting way outside. Two balls and 2 strikes. Three balls and 2 strikes. The count is full. Here comes the payoff pitch. Popped up towards the left side. The third baseman and the catcher both were not room as it just clears the netting. Keep in mind, fans, tomorrow, Game 1 of the CCL playoffs featuring your Orange County Riptide and the Healdsburg Prune Packers. It'll be out at Cal Lutheran. Game set to start at 12 p.m. As the pitch is on the inner half, Mason McWhorter flips the bat, walks towards first base, and he saw the reaction of Anthony Nettles on the mound. He did nothing less than smile. Those pearly whites were on display because he thought the last pitch was on the platter for strike 3. Nonetheless, the home plate umpire thought otherwise as Austin Soika digs in. Pitch is on the outer half and misses 1-0. We're in the bottom half of the 5th inning, all tied up. 2 balls and no strikes. Nettles takes a peek towards first base. Mason McWhorter not with the biggest of leads as the fastball runs inside, 1-0. Anthony Nettles come into the ballgame with a 9.11 ERA. Has thrown a complete 27 innings. Well, more at this point, as these are the stats reflecting his performance prior to the game beginning today. As the 3-1 is sliced towards right field, it'll split the gap and roll all the way to the wall. McWhorter rounds second. He's on his way towards third. He'll get there standing. Runners on the corners with no man out here for Aaron Simpson. Austin Soika giving the last pitch a good ride. And time is called here. And it looks like it'll be nothing more than just a mound visit. We do see some movement in the bullpen on behalf of the Barons. I can assure you there's a right-hander warming up. In regards to the Riptide bullpen, cannot tell you too much, just the fact that it is covered by our dugout. We sit behind home plate, and the Riptide bullpen is passing the first base dugout. Within their area is also the batting cage. 3 balls and 1 strike. A ball and no strikes. Nettles delivers. Here comes the pitch. Called strike 1. Matthew Cooper of Clemson University awaits on deck.
I noticed that. Yeah, you can tell early,
It's been a back and forth ball game, which is why we are sitting at 5-5 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Nettles delivers. Pitch is swung on and missed. The ball and 2 strikes. Mason McWhorter opened up the inning with a walk. We'll do it again. There goes Mason McWhorter. The pitch is swung on and missed. Jacob Shanks behind the plate without the ability of making a throw. So Mason McWhorter recording a stolen base here in the final 2018 regular season game for the Riptide. That is the first stolen base of the season for Mason. Matthew Cooper digs in. Cooper came into the ballgame hitting .247. Jake Priest, who is a... Oh, no. I was going to say on deck, but there's Jake Priest and Micah Priest. I wonder if these two are related, actually. One ball and no strikes to count here to Cooper. Cooper delivers the 1-0. At the knees for a strike. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. And the dirt blocked nicely by Shanks. The Riptide of Thorn is on third and second base. Nettles looks down the barrel to get a sign. The go-ahead run 90 feet away for the Riptide. Misses. Count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jake Ortega, the shortstop, waits on deck. Nettles waving off his catcher now twice. Let's see what he comes with here with 2 strikes. Shanks delivers a little bit more higher than usual. And a good call there by Nettles to wave off the last 2 pitches, as the last one right now resulted in strike 2. We've seen Nettles already this ball game fall from no balls and 3 strikes to strike 3. Alright. Right-hander gets the sign. Delivers the 3-2 pitch. It sounds like this.
Walking up from CSU Bakersfield, number 44, Jake Ortega.
So the bases are loaded. Jake Ortega looking to break the game wide open for the Riptide. The bases are loaded. 1 man out in the inning. In there for a strike 0-1. Josh Nikoloff awaits on deck. One and one on the count. Ortega came into the ballgame with a .375 batting average. Has 2 RBIs, no home runs. Nettles gets the sign. Three and one. Check that. It's actually 2 balls and 1 strike now. So a hitter's count for Jake Ortega at the plate out of Cal State Bakersfield. Righty on lefty matchup should favor the hitter. Pitcher delivers, runs way inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. And now the sirens are going off in Nettles' head. Has nowhere to put Ortega. Misses the zone, he'll walk in the run. Lays one in there. Oh well, Ortega may take him deep. It's a very tedious decision, the game of baseball. One where a lot of thought comes into play. Here's the pitch, and he comes with a fastball down the heart of the plate as it's fouled towards the left side. So the count is full, 3-2. Nettles sets. Delivers the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. So just what the doctor ordered if you are a Barons fan. Jake Ortega, with the bases loaded and 1 man out, fails to do absolutely anything.
Next up, from Columbia University, number 8, Josh Nikoloff.
And here comes Josh Nikoloff. Nikoloff comes into the ballgame hitting .208. Nikoloff also with 8 RBIs. Bradley Jekic awaits on deck. Nikoloff out of Columbia University. Hit out towards right field. The right fielder is there fighting the sun. Takes a few steps in, drifts a bit towards his left. Nonetheless, he makes the play, and this half inning is over. The Riptide failed to score despite having the bases loaded and only 1 man out in the inning. To the top half of the 6th we go. All tied up at 5 here from Fullerton College. Now out of Concordia University, it's Dylan Diaz. The 6'3", 95-pound right-hander out of Glendora, California, who also attended Glendora High School. He graduated from Glendora High School in 2017. He was a 2-year letter winner for Glendora, where he pitched and played third base. Ground ball towards the left side, deep in the hole. Priest across the diamond makes the play while making it look easy as well. 1 pitch, 1 out. Diaz on the mound was named the second-team All-American in his senior season. So Josh Nikoloff is the one who was at third base and not Mike Caprice. I apologize. Excuse me, I apologize. My mistake. One ball and one strike. The 1-1 swung on and missed 1-2. Two balls and two strikes to count. In there for strike three. Throw it around the horn, Jake Ortega. First strikeout of the ball game.
Number 4, Desmond Gates.
Two balls and no strikes. Dylan Diaz on the mound for the Riptide. Falls behind in the count at 3 balls and no strikes. In to replace Colin Townsend, who opened up the inning. On the inner half, the count is at 3-1. So a 2-out walk given up here by Diaz. And Jimmy McWhorter, in regards to your question of will the playoff game be streamed online tomorrow? Well, the answer is yes, but that'll be via the Conejo Oaks broadcast. So I believe that they also use YouTube Live. So make sure to follow them via their Twitter account. Stay posted online because they will post the links later on tonight. So we'll definitely have an opportunity to watch the games. Jonathan Rifkin behind the mics for the Conejo Oaks. And that's a nice backhanded stop by Austin Soika. An off-balance throw towards second base where Stephen Curry was covering. And my goodness, a dandy to close out the top half of the 6th inning. So yes, McWhorter. Tomorrow, via the Conejo Oaks broadcast, the Riptide will be facing the Prune Packers. To the bottom of the 6th inning we go. 5-5, all tied up. To the bottom half of the 6th inning we go, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Barons. That is Spencer Hereford. He's out of Dominguez Hills, Cal State Dominguez Hills. Dominguez Hills located in Carson, California. Spencer Hereford from Detroit, Michigan. 6'1", 165 pounds. Right-handed pitcher, and he is set to face Bradley Jekic. Jekic out of the University of Pacific, looking to set the tables. We're all tied up here at 5 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Pitch trails outside, 2 balls and no strikes to count. It'll be Jekic, Curry, and Priest. 2-1 now the count. Mason McWhorter in the hole. Pitch runs way outside for ball 4. So Bradley Jekic aboard on a 5-pitch walk, and here comes Steve Curry.
Next up from Georgia Southern, number 7, Steve Curry.
Curry has been a very reliable second baseman for the Riptide. He's put up very good numbers offensively and defensively. Defensively. He has done very well also. He's hitting .318 with 1 home run. Pitch is swung on and missed, 0-2. Pitch gets away from the catcher. Shanks on his way towards second is Bradley Jekic. The 1-2 results in strike 3. Hereford recording his first strikeout of the ball game, and in steps Micah Priest.
From Point Loma, number 23, Micah Priest.
Micah Priest out of Point Loma University. Pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Shanks, preventing Jekic from advancing towards third base. Two balls and no strikes. Eleven hits, 5 runs for the Barons. 7 hits, 5 runs for the Riptide. 2-1. Brandon Alamo is on deck. Pitch runs too far inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Micah Priest out of Point Loma University. Sitting at a good hitter's count. Has the go-ahead run aboard at second base. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That is laced out towards right center field. Going back to center fielder. The center fielder makes the play. The runner tags. He'll hold.
Stony Brook University. Number 24, Brandon Alamo.
So Brandon Alamo pinch hitting for Mason McWhorter. And Brandon Alamo. And for all of you young aspiring baseball players out there, make sure you get yourself a girlfriend like the one of Brandon Alamo, who is there supporting him wholeheartedly. You can hear her in the background showing much love towards your boyfriend, and we wish these two a very long and prosperous relationship as the pitch is fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes. So Sonia Williams-Harris, in regards to your question, I will go ahead and discuss this with our assistant GM, Julia Sanchez, during our break, and I'll get back to you shortly. Joshua Banuelos to lead things off here. In the top half of the 7th inning, Dylan Diaz remains on the mound for the Riptide, and Sonia Williams-Harris is at the right side. It'll stay fair. Banuelos, well, he's extending. He takes a big turn towards second. Nonetheless, he is held at first after a good throw from the right fielder. I spoke to Julia, and she said that is very unlike herself, so she's going to go ahead and look back and make sure that she can accommodate to your desires, because that's the kind of assistant GM she is. Very caring, very selfless, very committed. Here comes a pitch, breaking ball that does not break. Instead, it stays up high and inside. So Sonia Williams-Harris. She is watching from Lithonia. Yeah, Lithonia, Georgia. She's watching Danny Harris in his last game. Well, on the bright side, Sonia, you'll be able to see her not her, but him, I beg your pardon, very soon. Yep, Daniel Harris, number 25, out of Eastern Kentucky University. Out of Lithonia, Georgia. I hope I'm saying that correctly, and if I'm not, I beg your pardon. All tied up at 5. Joshua Banuelos opened up the inning with a single towards the right side. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dylan Diaz on the mound for the Riptide. He came in to replace Colin Townsend. Here comes the pitch. Slider in the dirt. Jake Ortega blocks it. Throw down to second base is a one-hopper. It was covered by the shortstop, Austin Soika, who then plays a little bit of a tag. Uric came with Banuelos, who came off the bag while sliding. Nonetheless, Soika regains his balance, applies the tag, and my goodness, a nice turn of events there as the first out of the inning is recorded. All right, so we have Michael Harris as well. He says, thank you for correcting. We are watching from Roswell, Georgia. Watching Danny Harris in his last game. Here's a one-hopper to Soika, and Soika, my goodness, have yourself a ball game out at shortstop. A nice display of defensive dominance.
Number 12, Jacob Shanks.
One ball and no strikes. Here comes the pitch. On the inner half, shot foul towards the left side. Count is even at 1-1, 2 men down in the inning. 12 hits now in the ball game for the Barons. So they have definitely found their stride offensively. They just have not been able to string together any hits and capitalize on the opportunities they are given with runners in scoring position. Here comes the pitch. Fastball above the chest. 2 balls and 1 strike. So as I said earlier in the broadcast, viewers, feel free to share your location. I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of a shout out here on air. It's definitely very fun to go ahead and chat with you guys. It's been a pleasure as you have followed us all season long. And my goodness, a shot hit to who else but Austin Soika to put an end to the top half of the 7th inning. To the bottom half of the 7th we go. The score remains 5-5 here from Fullerton College.
Stepping up to the plate from Ball State University, number 22, Aaron Simpson.
Now Aaron Simpson out of Ball State University digs in. And another thing to you guys who have been supporting us throughout the season, thank you for having patience in regards to our stream, because I know there have been instances where our camera angle was not the best or our feed would just drop completely. So thanks for bearing with us. You guys are very kind. No balls and 1 strike the count now to Simpson. 7 hits in the ballgame for the Riptide. They are being out-hit by 5. No balls and 2 strikes now the count. That was a slider that broke towards the outer half and caught the corner. The right-hander gets the sign, delivers the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, so back-to-back strikeouts to open up the bottom half of the 7th inning here for the Riptide.
Next up from Clemson University, Number 21, Matthew Cooper.
Now Matthew Cooper hoping to break the trend of the K's. Back-to-back K's to open up here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. So let's see what he has in store for us as the slider runs inside. Well located for a strike 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Another slider. This time it's there for strike 2. Swung on and missed. So Spencer Hereford on the mound has just struck out the side. My goodness. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. To the top half of the 8th inning we go. 5-5 here from Fullerton College. An hour. It's far, huh? What about Sunday? What time would that game be?
That's to be determined if we win on Saturday.
Yeah.
Single elimination. So.
Well, you know what? If we make it
It
to,
would be at 4:30 though. I think.
if we could do Sunday, we can. I'm like, we can definitely do that.
Number 5.
We open up the top half of the 8th inning. A new pitcher on the mound for the Riptide. That is Tyler Frazier. Tyler Frazier out of the University of Oregon. Well, he will be opening up his career there this upcoming fall. He's out of Corona, California, sitting at 6'2", 160 pounds. Change up that stays high. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. That's Christian Lucio at the plate out of Eastern Kentucky University. Pitch is swung on and missed. Lucio down in the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Misses. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andrew Wilson awaits on deck. Adam Sendejas in the hole. Foul towards the left side and out of play. The game has gone by fairly quickly despite it being very action-packed. There's been a total of 10 runs, 5 runs apiece per team. A total of 21 hits, or not 21 hits, but 19 hits. The count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-2 is a ground ball towards the right side and foul. We'll do it again. Here's a payoff pitch. Chopped foul once again. Count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Misses for ball 4.
Number 11.
So a leadoff walk to open things up here in the top half of the 8th inning for Tyler Frazier on the mound. Here's Andrew Wilson. Throw back over to first base, and he is picked off. Tyler Frazier, a sneaky little devil on the mound. Well, they picked off Mason McWhorter earlier today, so now some revenge from Frazier on the mound. That represented the go-ahead run, so you hate to give out outs of that caliber as that breaking ball runs inside and catches a corner for a strike 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Frazier delivers a 1-1 on a platter at the knee. It's called strike 2. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. The tag is applied by Jake Ortega behind the plate.
Number 34, Trevor